Dissertations, yes, lots of stress, you have to change it. Oh my God, you've made maybe primary data your main thing for doing your dissertation, and you've been told to change it now to secondary, to collect secondary data. So what do? Panic, stress, oh my God, I planned everything to do primary research, and now I have to do secondary. So what do? Well, I'm about to reveal some solutions for you in this video. My name's Mo, I'm the private lecturer, and my passion is to help you guys get through all of those situations, all of those hurdles and challenges to accomplish your academic goals, but not just academic goals, to accomplish your life goals by learning academic skills. Because I've gone through all those situations of stress, all those academic challenges and tasks to do. It's a real learning process, and it is rewarding at the end of it, but it also gives you a huge headache. So because I've gone through all of that, I'm here making this channel, making these videos to you to share my experience and my knowledge to help you guys as your private lecturer. Now, in regards to how I help students, I don't do the work for you. I guide my students and I empower them to give them the tools and the know-how that they need to get the job done and also enjoy the process. This channel is all about empowering yourself with academic skills and knowledge. There's an old saying that knowing what you're doing is half the battle. Okay, I help you out and show you just how easy it is to get all these assignments done and to write really good quality dissertations and so on when you know what you're doing with good academic skills. And on this channel, I'm going to expose those academic tools in an easy, simplified way that will help you guys to get on with your lives, feel confident and not have a headache or not feel stressed, feel proud of yourself for doing things the right way and doing it in a really good way that's rewarding. On this channel, I'm going to be encouraging you to always ask questions and always get into the habit of, do a bit of digging, explore things, investigate things. At the end of the day, you've got your own mind. I will be encouraging all of you to use your own mind and use critical thinking, find out things for yourself. It's important to raise your consciousness. When you raise your consciousness, you start to become more interested and notice more things. You start to switch on, right? On this channel, we're going to be enjoying the process of learning, the journey of learning, and everyone has their own journey that they need to go on. Sometimes it's not always clear which path you need to take. It's important to enjoy where you are right now, be in the moment and walk your path and enjoy that journey of learning as you go along. I would like to invite you all to send me an email or join in the discussion on the comment section below. If you want some inspiration, follow me on Instagram. You can visit my website and explore my paraphrasing book. You can learn a little bit more about me on my website, and there's going to be a lot more cool things that I'm going to be uploading on my website. Now, as I was saying earlier, right now you're probably going through a real roller coaster ride, and it's probably not fun. What to do now from all these strange new changes that are happening, that you can't do primary research anymore, which really sucks, because primary research is actually one of my favorite forms of research as well. But unfortunately, you're going to have to do secondary research. Lots of people are not happy about that. What I would suggest you do, you need to keep that motivation and enthusiasm that you've gathered from your old proposal that you've submitted about your dissertation. Keep those ideas, keep the subject, try to make as many minor changes as possible. Now, during this time as well, it's going to be really difficult for you, but you're going to have to manage it somehow. And the best way to manage it is through consistent communication with your supervisor. Through my experience at university, supervisors are very busy, and it's not only you that they're supervising, so you have to remember that. So what I would suggest you do is try to keep consistent communication with them so that they're always on the same page as you. Don't hang around though. Don't wait for them and say, oh yeah, I'm waiting for his email, I'm waiting for his reply to get, you know, the green light, to get the go-ahead to go with this topic or to go with this subject. This is probably the most important thing you need to do for all of you now at university that can't do primary research. You have to really get stuck in to reading lots of literature. The literature review process is probably the most important process of doing a secondary research dissertation. Read lots of literature. Even when your professor hasn't given you full permission or they haven't said, yeah, I agree with that, go with that subject. Don't wait for that. Just read lots of literature and take down lots of notes. That way you are immersing yourself in that subject. Obviously don't read about too many completely different subjects. You need to read literature which is connected to your topic area. Do lots of reading for your literature review. Make your literature review very, very rich and take lots of notes. You need to stop yourself from getting down and depressed and angry about losing all the previous ideas that you had when you wanted to do your primary research. You've got to let some of it go, unfortunately. Don't let go of the subject. Don't let go of those ideas. Keep the enthusiasm. Try to see how you can still achieve it somehow through a different perspective of using secondary research approach. You need to always think like a problem solver. I've probably mentioned this in my previous videos and I will continue to mention it. You're faced with many different problems, but you want to solve those problems and you're always going to try to find a plan B or a side road to get around it somehow to accomplish and solve the problems that you have. You need to find the research gap. Finding the research gap normally applies to students doing primary research. But you can still take that across into secondary research. Try to see what different authors haven't published on that subject and why. Why have they not published information regarding those things? You need to justify these things, and when you can justify things in your dissertation, you're showing that you are confident, that you know what you're doing, and you're showing an academic process, okay? Justify why that particular question or subject hasn't been published or researched in that area. You need to really combine different sources of information together. You need to be very good at linking things together if you want to produce a really good quality secondary research dissertation. You need to be very good at linking all kinds of different perspectives on the topic or solutions on the topic, or highlight different problems and so on. So you need to be very good at tying and linking things together, and I will discuss how to do that in another video. So let's give an example for that. Let's say you've chosen a subject and there's not really a lot of literature available to read on that subject. Find other sources of information. Now, what your professor will say, oh, but those other sources of information, they're not academic. Okay, they're not academic. Okay, sure. But you can at least take inspiration from those sources. You can still reference them actually as well, but you're not sort of saying this is the answer, okay? You're just sort of, steering the attention of the reader to that particular thing. And then, this is where the magic is, because it's not an academic source, you can link it to an academic source. You might have one or two publications on your subject. They're not very helpful, there's not a lot of information in them, but this other source has a lot of good gold dust inside it. I like to call it gold dust, but it's not academic. So you can't use it. No, you can still use it, but you can link it across to an academic source and reference it that way. Also, doing a secondary research dissertation you really need to be good at paraphrasing, which also involves being good at linking things together. To conclude this video, you need to learn the lesson here that things don't always go to plan. So you need to learn to be adaptive. That's one of the things that I've learned while lecturing, tutoring students, being a student myself. I've had to learn to adapt. If you don't know how to do something, sometimes you just need to throw yourself out of your comfort zone, give it a shot, try it out, play around, experiment. Eventually you'll learn it that way, through trial and error. You know, I mean, that's how I learned a lot of things, and that's how I'm able to share these experiences with you. Speaking of sharing my experiences and my knowledge, being transparent about what I've learned, and the reason why as I said, why I'm passionate about helping students is because I've gone through so many different challenges, and I know that many other people will be facing those challenges as well. And guess what? Everyone deserves help. Everyone deserves help at the end of the day, but you need to also be cool with asking for help as well. You can't obviously get someone else to do all the work for you or expect someone else to do that. You need to do things yourself and be confident, but don't be afraid to ask for help. I received a lot of help when I was doing my dissertation as well. I was very lucky to have a very, very inspiring professor, which not a lot of students get that chance to have a good relationship with their supervisor. That makes it very difficult. But as I said, the best thing to remember from this video, that you need to always find a solution somehow. Be strong, be confident. You need to give yourself a bit of a break. You need to say to yourself, well done, actually, for coming this far. Always look back to your previous achievements that you've made. Feel proud of how far you got so far. Try to complete that mission and go further. But that's the main message that I want you guys to take away from this video. If you would like to learn more about how to tackle this problem of changing your primary research dissertation into a secondary research dissertation, I can help you personally. Drop me an email, visit my website, join my Instagram page for a little bit of inspiration. Most importantly as well, I've put many years of experience and knowledge from helping and tutoring students all into a book, a guidebook, a student guidebook that is there to help you guys. It's the Paraphrasing Student Guidebook, 7 Simple Steps. And the number one common mistake that all of my students have gone through, that I've tutored personally, that I could see, is paraphrasing. Paraphrasing. It's very underestimated, as I said, but I will be making more videos about it later. So I need to let you guys get on with your evening or your day or your morning. Thank you for joining me. Stay strong, stay inspired, stay on the path of learning, and take care of yourself. See you next time.